Oh, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unsealed and Revealed. And now, if you haven't been around for a few weeks, welcome to our brand spanking new showtime. That's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific. I am your host, Jeff May, and with me, I have, as always, our galactic six-scale enthusiast slash expert and all-around good cyborg to know, Guy Klender. Guy, how you doing, bud?
I am doing fantastic, Jeff. It's great to see you.
You look fantastic, very galactic. I love it.
I'm intergalactic.
And of course, we have our fearless moderator, Cassidy, on the ones and twos, and she will be taking your questions, comments, and concerns throughout all the live channels that you may have. Cassidy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling fearless as always, as you said.
You are so fearless. To dive into those comments, truly fearless.
Thank you.
Hey, Guy and Cassidy, did you know that in 2 weeks we actually have our very first extra special holiday episode of Unsealed and Revealed coming? Did you know that?
What?
No, I didn't know that, but I'm glad you're telling me. I love when you give me all these surprises. I love the surprises of the show. And I think see my excited face while they do it.
I'm going to be honest, I don't get a lot of information often, but when I do, doozies. Always a doozy. Turns out we have all sorts of fun and festive surprises that are going to accompany our regularly scheduled program.
Sweet.
So nobody's going to want to miss that. So if you're a regular watcher, maybe an irregular watcher, you definitely want to make sure that you have December 15th ready to go for you, because it's going to be one heck of an episode.
Well, then I'm going to be here for that.
You probably should. I think it's the only way you get paid.
Oh, okay. I'm just playing with toys. Wait, paid? I don't know what you're talking
about. You just grab toys.
I just get to play with toys. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, speaking of toys, today we are looking at last week's surprise reveal, and that is the Nebula 6-scale from Hot Toys. This is from Endgame. I'm very excited to see that. The first Nebula that we've taken a look at. Now, in case you haven't missed it, I did say last week's surprise reveal, because we have a new segment at the end of each show where we will actually reveal next week's unsealed items. Now, when I say we, I mean that's Guy and myself. We do not know what producer Alan is going to spring on us. And I know last week's reveal did catch us all by surprise. I'm loving this segment. It's one of my favorite things. And at the end of the show, we will do that with next week's unsealed and revealed item. So make sure you stay tuned for the entire episode. And now, not only do we get this wonderful experience where we get to find out what we're going to look at next week, but we want you, that's right, you, to join it. Not like you, Guy and Cassidy, but you, everybody who isn't Guy and Cassidy, to join in the show contest that we're calling Guess the Reveal. We don't call it like that way, but I do, so it's fine. If you make a guess in the comments section during this show, very important, and you are the first person to get it right that Cassidy sees, you will win an exclusive Sideshow pin that the lovely Guy will show you right now. Do you have it, Guy?
Chris is going to throw up a graphic on that one there. And
there it is. Oh,
yes.
Take a look at that. We actually have three things going on right now. That is the Figure Fantasy hardcover book. That's an action figure photography book. That is absolutely fantastic. The Hot Toys 20th anniversary pin, as well as the Let Your Geek Sideshow pin. That is one heck of a prize. All you got to do is guess what's coming out now. So excited to see that. When I say guess what's coming out now, I don't mean guess now. That's not the prompt. Don't guess. There are a few basic rules. First, you have to be the first person to get it right, and there is only one winner, and you have to be a resident of the United States that is 18 years or older. Sorry. This one's very important, probably the most important to me because it has to do with me. Do not start until that tells you to start. I have to tell you when to guess before we will start entertaining those guesses. Now, for complete contest terms and conditions, visit side.show/contest, and we'll announce the winner's name at the end of the show, and Cassidy will be in touch with you about receiving your prize. Now, the last thing before we crack open this toy is I just want you to see that Guy Klender is back in the studio, and he's feeling great. Right, Guy?
I feel fantastic.
You look fantastic. Now, my man, super producer Sam, is behind the camera, way more than 6 feet away, wearing a mask. No one else is in studio with Guy. And as always, we are doing our best to ensure the good health of ourselves and others, and we hope that you are too. Now, let's be done with everything I have to say. Guy, I need you to crack this baby open because I'm really excited about it.
I am as well. I'm excited to show it off. Nebula is a figure that we've all wanted. She helps to get us closer to completing the entire Guardians entourage. as well as how important she is in Avengers, and I can't wait to see what stories we're going to get moving forward with her. So let's take a look at our top of the box here. I want to call this a mixed media, and that this is a photograph of not only the figure that they've used, but then gone over and painted as well. That really gives it a really neat kind of portrait painted look to it. We have that galactic background in the back, and then the A blowing up and apart there. On the side, as we've been given in these, we get the logos of the characters. In this one here, we have both the Avenger and Guardians logos there. Back of the box has all of our warnings. They never say as a warning, this toy is too cool to play with, but sometimes I think that. But all right, so this is our slipcover box. We're going to remove that there as so. We have our bright blue.
Ooh.
Boom.
That is
bright blue there.
That's what we refer to as wicked shaft.
It is wicked shaft, yeah. And right here we've got the Guardians logo. Again, I have unsealed the bottom part, and we're going to open that and slide the figure out. It is a single tray figure there. All right, now let's talk about what's in the tray as well. First up, our instructions, and we are going to talk a little bit briefly about those. But let's take off the upper shell there and see what we have in store.
Looks like a lot of accessories.
Yes, inside you're going to have 3 of her right hand swap outs, 2 left hand swap outs, your additional wrist pegs. You have the holster, blaster, 1 of her batons in the closed position, 2 in the open position, and we have kind of a lightning energy effect that will attach to the extended batons. Okay, underneath the figure is going to be our standard base. So without further ado, let's take her out and do a bit of quick fashion show.
Let's do that. Let's do that. I am God, I love that Nebula is a popular character. Is a character like when I think about it from like my growing up in my comics fandom, I don't even think I encountered Nebula until I saw her on like a Marvel trading card. Something like that. So and now, you know, we're looking at in the year 2020, and she is on this episode of Unsealed and Revealed with her amazing Hot Toys piece from the movie that she's in.
Yeah.
That's so fascinating to me.
Well, I mean, just the fact that Guardians ever even happened as a film is amazing. And that we all really have become intrigued with the figures. And this figure and this character is one that I find even more intriguing. Let's take a look right there at that portrait. And you have that almost downturned corners of the mouth. You're seeing that a little bit in the reflection and the way in which the paint is on that, as well as the sculpt. This character has so much pain and anguish going on in the relationships that she has in it, that it does really come through here that we saw in the figure. Also, the fact that the eyes are full black like that and yet still speak volumes of what's going on in her world.
I just want to say that this face sculpt is killer. I mean, you know, pardon the pun with Nebula, but it really is a killer. You know, it looks just like Karen Gillan, and
it's gorgeous. It's really spectacular.
And Guy, one last thing I want to say is the underlighting that you have right now really reflects well in that face when we see, because you have that kind of bluish light coming up from the below. Yeah, really shows the reflective paint that you see on her face.
Well, while we've got it here in this position, let's talk a little bit about the costume and the suit. Take a look at the different textures of that costume and that leather, okay? All of the different breaks that happen in there, all of the different patterning. See particular right here, how it has 2 different pattern sections on there, okay? Yeah. You've got kind of one that's more of a scale and the other more of a bit of a chainmail. Then you've got the smooth leather. Then you've got a textured leather up top that even though it is one solid color, it is broken apart by so many different facets, which is interesting, is that then complements up to the top where her face has all of the different
Well,
portions.
it really speaks to, I think, because I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure I'll get lit up in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe this is her Ravager costume that like panned over to Endgame, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So in that regards, then it makes sense that it would have this kind of like patchwork feel to the costume and having all these different textures and things because it's pirate clothes.
Exactly. And it's gorgeous. I mean, from head to toe. Now we're down here on one of our favorites. I mean, I would wear boots like that, and I would get a couple inches on it. I could be like 6'4". I could be your height if I could get boots like this.
Guy, you like a chunky heel?
I think I could pull off a chunky heel. I don't think I could do a smaller heel, but let's definitely take a look while we're down here on this. Again, that same pattern and texture done here. Now these here are actually a soft leather over. Okay, they are.
That's pretty rare for these.
It is rare. Now you'll notice there's no cut in the boot. Okay, as far as an ankle cut, so they're a little more limited in that ball joint. There is one in there, but it is very, very small as part of the movement. And because it is one solid piece like that, I myself would not be pushing that.
It's funny with Nebula, and I think from what we've seen with Nebula, a lot of her action comes from like a minimally, it's almost like Aikido. Like her action is very like minimally moved. So I don't predict that anybody would be doing anything dynamic anyway.
Correct.
Because her stuff is always like quick slips and motion and movement. So there's not a lot of dynamic moving that you would get in some other characters. Not like a Spider-Man, for example.
And let's look at that again. One, we're getting to see the outside of one boot and then the exterior of the other. And they are differently sculpted. And I'm going to spin it around to show you the other way. But I did want you to see the difference of the two and how they're done. And again, that texture that's been brought down into that in the sculpting. I like the little rivets.
That's a really fantastic design process in there.
You got the rivets on the back there. You've got those buckles. They've given a great wash to them to kind of have the not only the brass and the black clasps that are on there. You get the shiny and the dull up there. Between the two different styles of leather. And then on this side here, got the other attachment. Just beautiful. Now, since we're taking a look at the suit, I'm going to actually put her on the stand so I can kind of be pointing out some details there. There we go. Let's take a look upward. We're going to stop there. We're going to go all the way up. That's fine. We're going to work our way back down. Since we see that here, we do have our traditional ball-jointed head on the figure there with the addition down in the neck area as well. That's a great side portrait to be able to see.
Yeah, that profile is so good.
The figure as
well. This
might
be one of my favorite face sculpts that we've seen on one of these.
The female face sculpts that Hot Toys has been putting out in the past year that you and I have been seeing have really been spectacular. And this is definitely one of those. Yeah, you talked about the Ranger. Now we kind of get that Ranger symbol on there. Again, I love how broken apart the leather is as far as the different textures and then the different little attachments and clasps and things she has there. Now you're going to see those two little metal clasps right there on the waist that hang off the belt. Now the holster does go in there, and we're gonna work a little bit on there. But that's one of those that you're probably going to want tweezers or something there for because it's a little difficult to get in there. But we will talk about that there. On the back of the belt, see that it has the loops, and that is for putting the closed baton handle in. You also see how tight the stitching is on the suit. Okay, from up the back of the pant area to here. And the reason I bring that up is to tell you this is not a removable costume. This does not come off in any way. And please don't try to do it because...
Sorry, creeps.
it's just not going to work for you.
But beyond that too, like the amount of detail that we're seeing in the stitching and sort of like I referenced it earlier as patchwork, but like this seems like the highest attention to detail has been made in what we're seeing on this figure so far, with the face sculpt as well as the stitching and the. It seems like the outfit is a star of this piece.
You've got the 3 little rivets on the back there. You've got an embossed symbol there that is the raised leather on there that's been pressed in. Then you've got the kind of the black there. I like the tiny bit of shoulder pauldron that we get on there. Now let's take a look at the mechanical arm that she has there. And you see that this has, again, a multiple of different paint and metallic textures.
What's the that's plastic, I'm guessing?
This one is plastic, yes. This is not a die-cast part.
Yeah.
And then when we're down here to the hands and the forearm is where you see a little bit more of the wiring and a little more of the color coming through. Man. But again, you're seeing just great. Sam is really just kicking butt today here on the close-ups to be able to show off all of the textures in that, because this is a figure that you just keep seeing more and more detail.
No, this I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with the detail in this piece.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous piece. We're going to spin around to the front and show kind of the front of the belt there and the bottom of the jacket area. Now, again, this is a belt that does not remove. In fact, I think it was put on there and had to be kind of adhered and glued. There's a bit of movement in it, okay, but that does not mean it's removable.
Did you say it's glued? It's
not glued in place, but what I mean is you notice, well, we've seen other belts and it'll have kind of a Velcro clasp on the back. I'm lifting the arm so you can see. You don't see where.
Oh, okay.
It connected.
Oh, okay.
Okay. My bet is somewhere here in the back section. But again, that's why I'm saying this is not a removable piece. And try not to attempt that. Down on this side, we've got the bit going down here. Now, this is not glued onto it, but it is tight and snug on there. So when you do move it, when we move the leg, and we're going to do that when we talk about the posability, you will see that we have a bit of motion in there.
That's right. Real quick, I do want to say, I want to ask Cassidy. Cassidy, how we doing in the questions, comments, or concerns? Because if you're just joining us, we are taking a look at the Nebula 6 scale from Hot Toys, and this is from the Movie Masterpieces collection from Avengers Endgame.
So far, we are doing good. You have already answered a few questions that were being asked in the comments. We do have questions about the ankle articulation, but I do know we'll get to that when we get to our, try to watch.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I briefly touched on it, but we will go over that a little more fully. So, Cass, we're good on our questions for the moment?
So far, yes.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. All right. So I pulled out a few of the accessories, and I want to talk about what they're going to show in your instructions about them. Okay, it's very, very minimal, but this is how we're going to be. Let me turn that upside down. Where we put the different pieces and such. See where I said there's the little small claps? They have the little number 2 there. We're going to discuss how that works. On the back here of our little holster, you have the 2 there. All right, these are a softer rubberized material. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of fiddling with them. I kind of held the figure at an angle and laid them down in and attempted it that way.
But yeah, it's pliable, so that
it is pliable. So you are able to do it that way. Okay, so we're gonna move Nebula off here. We're gonna talk about the different accessories that we have. All right, so that is our holster rig, done with the great leather and the stitching on there.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun. Mm-hmm. And it holds this beauty.
Ooh.
Isn't that neat?
A laser tag blaster.
I like the grip. Look at that.
Looks really cool.
Look at that honeycomb grip.
That really does give me a very cool, like, 50s sci-fi vibe that I am here for.
It has that. I like the kind of the bone white aged top cover piece Great use of the metals, and then that kind of blue on the inside and that bright bronze there, and a bit of that heat displacement from the front, as this piece has probably been fired more than a few times. I dig on that. Now, these here, that is going to be our closed version of the baton. Wow, great close-up. I love it. I love having this in the studio with the cameras very close like this. He's got a great lens to be 6 feet from me and still give you these kind of close-ups.
Oh, yeah.
But this is the closed position, okay? And this is the one that we can attach into the costume, and we will show that in a little bit. And then this is the extended version of the baton, okay? All right. Now, they do not collapse. Do not push the end of it in an attempt to do that. It does not work that way. And it also comes with this little lightning effect. It will show you in the instructions how to slide those in, but it just kind of goes in and out like so, allowing me to...
That's electricity, baby.
Get the electricity effect. All right. Really a neat thing to have the two batons like that, and to give you that electric effect. All right, I'm going to move these off here. I'm going to take and place the baton in the costume. Now, you're going to hear that kind of leathery squeak when you're placing it in, and that is fine because it's good and snug. Spin this around and show you. Take a close-up there. When I put it in, make sure you're going to insert that narrow end first. Put that in, so you're not smashing the wider end first. That way it'll naturally stop like that and not stretch those the loops out too far. Make sense, Jeff?
Yes, it does, Guy. Thank you for asking.
Well, there you go. All right, since we've got her here, let's talk a little articulation, and we'll do a few hand swaps.
Yeah, let's get to those. Let's move some arms.
Yep.
Move some arms.
All right,
legs,
well,
brow.
once that we've now got her off there, this is your traditional stand that we're going to have with that
Endgame.
Avengers Endgame. So she, of course, gets both the A and the Ranger logo as well. Name on base. All right. Moving everything off to the side here. Okay, here we are. So we have our ball jointed head we've talked about, and a little bit more into the neck region.
God, that face sculpt looks so good.
Isn't that great?
All right, it's really great.
With our right arm here, because we are not constricted by any of costuming or fabric, we have a little bit bigger range of motion. You can hear how tight those joints are. It's not a ratcheted joint, but they are nice and tight. Okay, so we can spin the arm completely around like that if need be. Now, as far as our bend, it is a 90. You'll see that it's not a double jointed like that, and that's to keep the asymmetry of the mechanical metal lines that go down the arm. Okay, so that's about your extent there. And then we do have the roller ball joint arm. I like the little fit. This is her fist pump. Okay, she's front row at one of the concerts. I love taking my action figures to
she's hearing some kind of rock anthem.
Yes, she's definitely rock anthem. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy and those characters always had some rock and music. So, perhaps that's what she's doing there. Okay. Now this is the fist hand that comes on it when it's right out of the box. We do have two additional hands that come with. One is more of an open hand, and the other is for holding one of the batons. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put a baton in the grasping hand, and you can see that's the more of the relaxed open hand that is there. Okay, and you see that detail that's done on the palm and the the different types of metals that make up the different digits, which is pretty darn great. And there we have one holding the baton.
There it is.
All right, so you have that. That's that arm there that we have. So also you're going to see up top on the arm, right here on the shoulder.
Right there, yeah.
Yep. That's giving you your to the side. You have quite a big range.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, I guess that would make sense. Yeah, she's a robot.
Yep.
It's a robot arm.
Yep. Now, right here between your forearm and your elbow joint, it will spin completely as well. Okay. So you do have quite a bit of motion on that one there. You're not really limited. The biggest restriction is the anything past 90.
Elbow, yeah.
On that one there. So let's now talk about the right arm. Okay. We obviously can't do the full spin around because of the leather, but let's also take a look at that outfit there and again see how unique that jacket.
Yeah, this is also too a reminder that when you are going for that realistic outfit too, like the posing is obviously going to be a little limited, I'm guessing. It makes sense. If I'm wearing a snug leather jacket, I'm not going to be lifting my hands over my head either. Yes,
correct. And they've given you a bit of a suggestion where it's to return the arms and the legs to more of a neutral position, and not to leave it in something really stretched for a long period of time. And that's something we've told you, and then Hot Toys will tell you that as well.
Yeah, I mean, so if Hot Toys is saying that, that makes sense too, but it also makes sense just for the Nebula character as well. Like, as I was saying previously, surprisingly not like a lot of super dynamic movement from the character.
Correct. Now, on this one, her arm goes a little bit further. There is that bit of the double joint on this particular arm. However, because of the costume, this is about as far as we go. So it's a little bit further. We're going to set these next to one another. Can you kind of tell that we get a little more than 90 there, and we get 90 there. All right. As far as our front and back, pretty standard. And our upper, you can hear how tight those joints are. You can also hear that wonderful leather jacket movement. Yeah. I think it's kind of fun.
It's a very Breakfast Club pose that you had up.
Yeah, exactly. Old-timey stretches, Jeff. Take a look.
Yeah, stretch those sides, man.
She does have a great amount of side bend and trunk twist.
Yeah.
Okay? Anytime you're doing that, you'll notice that it does move there. And I remember I said that the belt isn't necessarily glued on there, so it does allow you to cover and put those back when you when you do it there. Okay. And lastly, let's talk about our leg articulation here. All right. Then I know we're going to talk a little bit about the ankle articulation as well as taking a look at a really cool shoe. Well, there we go. Boom.
Let's take a look at that. Okay, so what a great
chunky heel.
A wedge to a chunky heel. What a wonderful mix that we have here. I'm just guessing that that's what this is called. I'm dumb.
Cassidy, could you help us out? Would this be, what is it? What do you categorize this type of heel?
That looks more like a wedge.
Okay.
Heel, I believe.
Wedge, yeah. But it's got the like notch going up in the arch and coming back down, which makes it like extra weird to me. I love it. It looks like space shoes.
Space shoes. To go with space pants. Now let's take a look. We talked about, Cass, you had brought up that people were asking about articulation of the ankle. Now this is a softer material, and this does feel like they've even done with that type of leather. I'm able to give it a little bit of a push here on the side, okay, versus being a hard plastic to it. Knee, our double joint. I like the little rubberized kneecap.
There it is.
There
The perfect
as well.
to knee somebody in the face with.
Yes. Now, because I have the here, you can see that I have a bit of movement. But it's very, very, very minor. Very, very minor movement that you have there. But we get a good back angle on there as well for those field goal kicks.
Good leg. A good gam. Look at that.
Well, sometimes the backward motion on the legs will be limited, and this one here has quite a bit of range. Let's talk about hip to the side. And again, remember, you do have that suit. Don't push anything so you're having a huge amount of stress on the suit. But the legs can come out a good bit there as well.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Now, go ahead, guys.
Nope. You, sir.
Well, I was going to say that for those of you that are just joining us, we are looking at the Nebula 6 scale by Hot Toys from Avengers Endgame. And also, don't forget, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe and hit the notifications bell on our YouTube channel so you won't miss out on any of our content, because trust me, we've got a lot coming. Make sure you're following us on social channels like @CollectSideshow on Twitter and @Sideshow Collectibles on Instagram, so you can get instant notifications and giveaways about all the other content and things through the year. As always, if you like comics, you need to check out our weekly show, The Comics Hall with Amy and Paul. It is a weekly 4 p.m. Wednesday, new comic book day, show that goes up live on all of our social channels. There will be a giveaway on their show tomorrow. And if you prefer podcasts, which some of us do, then you can catch the show on Thursdays, dropping on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And Cassidy is going to drop a link to that right now. Right now? Is it now? It's now. Yeah. I think it's now. Also, if you haven't heard, today we kick off our new online event, Spectacular. That's right. Just the word spectacular. No spooktacular this time. It's just the good stuff. Every day for 24 days, we have themed discounts for brands and items all across our website. And each day we'll actually be giving away an item that pertains to that theme. For example, today we're giving away the Spider-Man 2099 6 scale by Hot Toys for our Hot Toys deals. Cassidy's going to drop a link to that now. And then, of course, extra shameless plug, Sideshow with Jeff May. The episode just dropped today while we started doing this, and my very special guest is legendary pinup and pop culture artist Olivia. It is a fantastic show. It's a little uncensored, so we got that going for us, and you can really enjoy that. And Cassidy will drop a link to that as well. Cassidy is just a link dropping fool today, and you are knocking it out of the park. Now, Cassidy, once you're done with those links, if you see any questions, comments, or concerns that you think we might need to handle, feel free to let us know. If not, Guy and I are going to get back to posing this beautiful baby right here.
We do have a question about the gold piece on her eye, around the eye and the head. They want to know if it's like painted or if it's like a part of the head sculpt.
Let's take a look at a close-up. Super producer and a cameraman extraordinaire Sam is going to give us a close-up look there. I'm going to run the finger over there. This is a sculpted piece and then painted. It's not a removable piece or anything like that, even though, of course, we did see it kind of change a little bit in the films. It is part of the sculpt and part of the paint. This is, I love going back to this sculpt because the skin texture on here and on the character in the film is just so unique and different. Wow, I love how that uplight is capturing the nose, the lips, and the chin. And this one here.
Guy, I when we talk about that, I think we're talking about the piece that's more higher on the skull.
You're talking this aspect. Are we talking about here?
I think so. Would you lean that forward a little bit? Can you lean that piece forward?
Yeah. In fact, if you like, I can.
I'm trying to remember.
Remove our portrait sculpt here because it's kind of fun to see that the colors of the skin have been brought down onto the neck there as well, which I just thought that was kind of fun when you removed it and that you had that. But
yeah, let's give me a full rotation of the head there.
All right, so let's take a look.
Okay, looks good. Now just give me a rotation a little bit more. Let me see the whole there. God, that sculpt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now is this Cass, since you're there in the comments, are we taking care of answering this question about this gold medal piece that they're asking about?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, great. Super. She is a beautiful figure. I just wanted to put one of the batons there, and she has, of course, the other one behind her. There's something about the portrait and something about the character and that sadness and that real beaten down upon.
Her character arc from Guardians all the way up to Endgame might be my favorite arc of any character in the MCU. Like, her arc is one of those that it really, the trajectory just changed and shifts so much, and she carries that emotional, like she has the burden of victimhood and manages to reclaim it and sort of empower herself through that and through her family. Yeah. And I think that's such a great and wonderful through line that I don't think we mentioned through that. And Guy, just as another quick heads up, I do want to say that you look sharp in that studio right there, and your background looks fantastic.
I love it. Look at this. Look at my new facility. This is spectacular. My office is that one right up there. You see it?
Guy, let's slide you over a couple of steps to your left so we can get a shot of Nebula in that background, because it looks sweet. We can get a close. Oh, that's a little too close, I think. But if we can pan back a little bit, we only have those two options, and that's fine. But that looks pretty fantastic. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, super producer Sam, for knocking that.
You talked about her torment. And I think one of the reasons she was so tormented would be very rough growing up.
Oh no,
with this guy.
Look, so there we go. If we see the Avengers, this is the Infinity War Thanos that we see here.
Correct. We do see the two of them together in this kind of look, and so that's why I kept him here.
If I can recall from my Cyber Monday deal that I did with him yesterday.
Yes.
This is a 16.39 inch tall piece right there. Can you stand him up straight? So the Thanos is about 16 and a third inches tall, and so that's what Nebula would look like next to him. God, he is massive.
All right, so that's the two next to each other. This is just for a size comparison there to what you have, and also helps to kind of complete that. If you do have this one, there's a great scene between the two of them when they both look this way, which is really darn neat.
Go on.
I kind of like. Now, of course, he leaves, so we're gonna. Would you like him to leave? Would you like to?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's get in that space. Let him
But she, at the end, is there with only one other individual.
Go. I'm guessing that's going. Oh, look.
The only other person she was there with.
It's Iron Man.
Yes, it's Iron.
So,
but these are, if sometimes it can be a little daunting to go, oh my goodness, I have to get all of these figures. I have to get all of the different to this and there. I just happen to really like this as a single set scene. At the end of that particular moment.
Step aside as you're talking. Let me
at the end of that particular.
And if we can pan up a little bit. Now I know that it looks about right. I know Iron Man stands pretty tall. I know that Karen Gillan is about 5'11". So that seems about right as far as height is concerned.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
Well, it's neat to see. I'll put her right in front of him so you can see what you have on a 12-inch with the Iron Man and what you have with her figure. Okay.
That looks all right.
So, now if you're like, oh, this is the, oops, I'm having too much fun moving too many toys around. This is the fun part, just playing with the toys. You can never have too many toys. At least that's what Jeff told me. You said I could never have too many.
I did tell you that. I said I can have too many toys, but you can't.
But I
Guy.
can't.
I'm going to live vicariously through your shelf collection.
Well, there you go. If you want, if you're looking for a little more jovial,
I am Groot.
yeah, I, and everybody's favorite trash panda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
There
so we're just
he
getting
is.
closer and closer to our having everybody from a team there. But I do want people to see kind of, particularly like we talked about the scale. The reason I brought out Iron Man, I'm bringing out Rocket, Thanos, and this and the others, not only to say, hey, you could create your scenes in your displays or something like that, but also to show you the scale. This is not just a standard 12-inch body that they've put the Nebula head and such on. They've actually, it's a correct scale on there.
Yeah, it is interesting too that because they do the scale and shout out to Hot Toys in working with Disney and Marvel Studios in making sure that they do get that as accurately as possible, and then it's not just every sixth scale is 12 inches tall.
Yeah, everything is all the same height. We've really come a long way in the sixth scale figure department. Before, that used to be what it was. The body was standard, and then you kind of had your you put
different
different hands and heads and outfits, and now just almost everything is back to formula with just about everybody. But
I mean, it goes to show you how seriously they take it.
yes. Now I'm going to move some of our friends off here and really show off who we came to see, Nebula, and being able to add her. She's such an important character and so unique. And in, as they suggested, don't leave her in dynamic stuff for too long. Even just standing there, she was, as you said, quite stoic and quite put upon. That there is just so much life in just the sculpt and just a straight arm pose with a small bend.
Guy,
look at how much you get with the.
Let's do a blaster pose. Like I would like to see a blaster pose if that's at all possible. If you're comfortable with that, or if we have the time for it.
I'm gonna allow you to answer any and all questions.
Yeah, that I was like, ooh, that underlight is bright on that overhead camera. Yeah, because I do want to say, I know, like, with a lot of posability, I know you said in the instructions, but also what we have in you can feel those limitations, sort of. I mean, I don't want to say limitations because it's accurate, but with the costume, that we're obviously not doing a lot of, crazy posing like you see oftentimes. But I would like to see what you would have as sort of a neutral pose. Let's see you, Terry Smith. Hey, everybody. Let's see you do your best, Terry Smith.
I had a conversation with Terry early this morning about being that I was going to be able to take a look at this figure today. So, but this is not necessarily how I'm going to pose. I've yet to decide because today this is really I saw her last week with this is what you're going to do. This is the first reveal, but this. I'm not concerned about the bend in the arm being problematic, but it does allow me to show both of her types of weaponry. Mm-hmm. So I've actually put the one baton in the one hand. The other is in the back belt. There you can see now. Take a look at, even on that hand that we have with the blaster, is to see the blue nail polish used.
Yeah,
it
I
shows
really
off
like
that honeycomb on there. Yes, I will be leaving it like that. I happen to like the way it looks on there. And these are the soft fingers and are pliable, so you just give them a little suggestion as you put the blaster in. But here we can, I like that she has a bit of gunslinger to her. So, Cass. What questions? Look at that. Wow, that sculpt is crazy. Cass, do we have any questions? Is there anything that we haven't talked about with Nebula here? More about the toy and not her arc?
We had a fun question over on Facebook. We had a question asking, would you display her with like the Guardians or the Avengers, or would you put her alongside Thanos?
No. What I just did there with that particular Thanos is I have a feeling how I'm going to do my display. Because a whole Guardians, it's a lot of people to have. I'm not necessarily going to use this particular angered gridded head sculpt to him for mine, but I do like
the stoic pose maybe with him standing behind her.
Yeah, I think what was so unique is that kind of that dynamic, that father-daughter dynamic of the two of them, and then again, of course, his father dynamic with Gamora. So let's move some things around. But I don't like to overcrowd a shelf or a display case or anything with multiple. It tends to detract.
I would say that if you have the Infinity War Thanos like this right here, or the or if you end up getting the Endgame Thanos as well, that sort of non-articulated gauntlet would be really good if you wanted sort of like a stoic pose of him sort of standing, being intimidating behind her. I could definitely see that as being something really rad.
I think it's a great way to show off these both in a kind of standard. I think the one you're talking about is the extra arm that you remove with more of the flat-out glove, I think is what you were talking about there, Jeff. So yes, something like that, because I think I want the two together, and that relationship between those two is such a different thing.
It's a very unfortunate relationship for sure.
It is. It's definitely the cause of a lot of her strife.
Yeah.
I mean, we see that. And so a pose of him just as you said, just kind of that brooding, overlordy type father that has been so problematic for her there, I think really shows the two, and I'm just kind of leaning them together real quick because I'm doing it from behind, but really shows off both of those. I don't feel that I've overcrowded a shelf and really allow the two of them to tell their story.
Yeah, I do like sort of the looming figure of Thanos, sort of like being a dark cloud over her. So you see that right there.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's how I will display them, not necessarily with her blaster and this and the other, but those two together, I'm more of a 2 or 3 on a shelf. It gets a
Side note, by the way. Side note, and I don't know if the sale is still going on, but on Cyber Monday yesterday, and the only reason I know this is because this was one of my first piece of the day. I know that the Thanos was on sale and it was like a pretty good deal if I recall correctly. So
this is an amazing figure.
If you were ever on the, I know this show is about Nebula, but if you were ever on the fence about that Infinity War Thanos, I think the best deal we've ever had is actually. It was either yesterday, but it might still be going on today. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one. But now that being said, producer Alan has informed me, Guy, that he's going to bring out something because we're going to start Guess the Reveal.
Oh, Guess the Reveal. You know what? So, I know that a lot of people here who watch the show are probably musically talented in this. And should we have them come up with how we say that?
We absolutely should not do that. That being said, I'm going to. Has Alan brought that out? My camera is only on.
He has indeed. There is a black cloth to my left.
So that being said, then I'm going to prompt you now to guess what the reveal is going to be. Remember, it is the first correct answer that is shown in Cassidy's viewpoint, and she has access to all of those and will see them. But again, so that will be the first one right there. And if you guess it, you can definitely get a chance at winning the figure, the book, and the 2 pins, the Hot Toys.
It's a prize pack.
It's the Let Your Geek Side Show Hot Toys. As well as the action figure photography book. Great books, by the way.
The book is a lot of fun. I had followed the photographer for that for a little while, even before they did the book, and it's just these kind of fun ideas. I like Yoda choosing to not only use the Force, but to have a selfie, because he does later need to post it so everybody sees he can do cool stuff.
I've only recently sort of discovered action figure photography, and I have found some really fun accounts on Instagram to follow and just see some really cool. And their process is really fun.
Oh yeah, and that's why when we have these giveaways or winners of different things, and I've been fortunate enough in some of our other shows to be able to give some away. I'm always hoping that they're going to send in photos and I can go, look what they did, look what they did with it.
Yeah,
because I think that's fun.
Cassidy, do we have a winner yet?
Not yet, but I will give a hint at the very least. Okay. It is a Star Wars figure.
It is Star Wars.
Actually, just kidding. We just got a winner.
Congratulations.
Oh, okay. Cassidy. Well, that being said, then, Guy, if you would be so kind as to let's get me off there. Yeah, let's have Guy do that poll.
Okay.
And what do we get here?
All I know is that it's Star Wars.
All right.
Wow!
Is that Tamtel Screech?
Wow. Okay, this is really. This definitely is catching me off guard.
Okay.
I thought there might be. I had no idea that this was.
So this is Lando Calrissian in the Jabba's palace. I believe the name that he went under is Tamtel Screech.
You are correct.
Head. Shout out to my years and years of playing the Star Wars card game to remember that. Cassidy, who is our winner?
Wubba Lubba Dub Dub on YouTube.
Would you please say that again? The winner's name?
Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, like in
Wubba Lubba Dub Dub.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the final song, Lubba Lubba Nub Nub, at the end of the film.
Different thing, Guy. I'm going to show you Rick and Morty at some point in time, and you're going to love it. Again, congratulations at Wubba Lubba Dub Dub for guessing that it is the Lando Calrissian as Tamtel Screech from Jabba's palace from Return of the Jedi. This 6 scale is something that I am very excited to look into, so I am really excited about that. Now, Cassidy, before we start working on our sign off here, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns that we might want to address?
At the moment, I believe that we covered everything, and if we didn't, I'll contact people after the show.
Beautiful.
That's perfect. Guy, do you have anything that you would like to add?
Well, I'd just like to say thank you very much for everybody watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And definitely add this figure, whether it's her with Thanos, or you add it to the Guardians, or you add it to the Avengers. She is she's not to be missed. This is
no, it's a great piece, and I feel like the actual sort of visual that we are providing here is really sort of helpful. So that being said, everyone, thank you so much for joining us, because you have been an absolutely amazing audience. Now, if you're interested in any of our giveaways, make sure you follow us on social so you can keep up with our daily spectacular giveaways. Don't forget, we're giving away that Spider-Man 2099 6 scale. I said 2099. Deal with it. Figure by Hot Toys today. I'm always going to call it that, so I don't care what you say in the comments. It's 2099 to me. Cassidy is going to drop a link to that below. Now, thank you all for hanging out with that. Of course, Guy, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For doing that. It's an amazing job. Cassidy as well. Thank you. You did such a killer job as well, and I appreciate everything that you do. And of course, thank you, the viewers at home. Remember, we don't have a show without you watching and questioning and commenting, and less concerning. But we love doing that. So make sure you come back. And again, don't forget, in 2 weeks. Next week's episode, by the way, gonna be great. Can't wait to look at the Lando. But don't forget, December 15th, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, is our very special holiday episode of Unsealed and Revealed, and we have a lot of festive fun coming your way. So, but until then, we're a Tuesday show now. We'll see you Tuesday, December 8th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode of Unsealed and Revealed. And of course, the December 15th episode, which I just told you about. Don't forget to check out the Comics Hall with Amy and Paul tomorrow at 4 p.m. And don't forget to check out Unsealed Nope, that's this show. Don't forget to check out Sideshow with my very special guest, Olivia. We've got so much great stuff. All the programming here, Get Super, such a great show too. Make sure you check all those out. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Guy. Thank you, Cassidy. And don't forget to let your geek side show. Bye.